How are you doing today? Thank you again for tuning into the C3M. I'm your host, Josh. A little shout out to Spreaker. This podcast is made with Spreaker. So if you haven't ever checked them out, check them out. Spreaker.com. Boom. It's free, but they also have some pro plans. So I've been brainstorming about a lot of things, okay? About my company, the C3M, and how I want to launch it. How do I want to, I don't want to say launch it, but how do I want to build this thing? How do I want to, what are the steps I need to take? Does that make any sense? I don't know. I have a game plan for this podcast today, but at the same time, it is going to be completely off the top of my head. So if you stick around and get through the whole thing, I commend you. I thank you very much. So what today's episode is going to be about, and thank you, by the way, this is officially episode number 1. The other episode was how most of us start podcasts, is the intro in order for us to get our RSS feed. So anyhow, what I want to discuss today, a little bit anyway, is about motivation. I want to be motivated, but at the same time, I also want to be able to motivate. And what I mean by that exactly is I want to be motivated. Okay, I want to be, in order for me to be motivated, what I do is I listen to numerous podcasts about business or about the things that I'm completely interested in, that I also will be benefiting from, that will help me build my business, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So I look forward to being motivated because I don't want to get stagnant. I don't want to get discouraged, for one, and I definitely don't want you all to get discouraged in your endeavors and what it is you're trying to do, and either build your business or you have an idea to build your business and you want to try to build a business, but you're scared to do it. And I just want to say, don't be scared, okay? Because go for it. I mean, really, just plan everything out. Look at what it is you want to do. Is it a complete brand new idea? Or is it something that, that there's others that do it too, and that you'll be able to look at them and be influenced by them, learn from their mistakes or learn from their successes. For instance, let's go back to what I was saying about me being motivated. I am motivated by others, podcasts, other videographers, other photographers, other media content creators. And I want to keep that motivation because I want to keep that fire burning, and because I want to see this thing through. I want to go full time in this business. I want the C3M to really be my full-time income, my full-time my full-time career, my job. My kids, my boys are looking forward to the day that I do get to stay home and work, or I can work from home, or what have you. But anyway, so with me being motivated, that's the things I look forward to. I look and I listen to other podcasts. I also watch numerous YouTube videos on a bunch of different things when it comes to photography or videography or sound for film, or just other tips and tricks, tutorials on video editing, and it's just anything, because I'm constantly wanting to learn. I want to learn, and I want to learn. And I want to encourage you to do the same exact thing, because when you stop learning, you're not going to be able to move forward and go anywhere else. So with all of that, with me wanting to be motivated, I also want to in turn motivate you. And that's really the whole reason why I started the C3M. I wanted to be able to get on here and just talk about my journey in building this company from the ground up. It's just me right now, and I hire some freelancers when I need them, other videographers or second shooters or what have you. But I want to be able to motivate you to be able to do the same exact thing. So with both my channels on YouTube and this podcast, I want to be able to hopefully produce content for you to be able to watch, learn, and be motivated with. So, moving on from there. That's what I'm hoping for. So with a few things, it's like, unfortunately, in the world of business, and I'm definitely no expert, no guru. I am most definitely learning, but I'm learning that you got to go for it. You got to jump in head first, or both feet, or however you want to use that saying. But you got to, when you do it, you got to go in. You got to be committed. I know a few folks that have always had the idea and always had a dream that, hey, they want to do their own thing, and they've started LLCs and went absolutely nowhere. Or I've also have had folks that was wanting to do a joint business with me, whether that be recording or what have you, and they wouldn't do their part. For instance, like they wouldn't pull their weight. I was always the one finding the clients. I was always the one doing the work, recording, mixing, and stuff like that. And then every time I'd be like, hey, these few dates, we're going to be in the studio, and hey, can you set this time aside, whatever. Because, if I'm going to go ahead and get work, get clients, and then our deal is that we're going to split this 50-50, well, dag nabbit, you know what? I want you to do 50% of the work too. I don't want to be stuck doing all the work. Anyway, so with all of my quote unquote failed ventures with business, when I say failed, they went so far, and I got discouraged because I unfortunately just had folks that was up front saying that yeah, let's do this. I'm totally excited. I'm totally right there with you, man. And anyways, a few months into it, it just doesn't work out. I don't know if they just get bored with it or what have you, and the idea was really exciting, which I'm sure that's what it was. But so with all that rambling on, what I'm trying to just say is, again, back to motivation. I want you to just be motivated. Just stay on top of it. Know your end goal. Keep that in sight. And then take every step necessary to reach that end goal. And then after you reach that end goal, create a new goal. Set a new goal. I was just thinking today, it's like, okay, if I get to that point where I'm working from home and I'm financially, debt-free, and I'm financially secure, what do I do next? What do I do then? I was just thinking about today, and so it just got me thinking. It's just like, you can really never stop. When is enough? When is enough? Or when isn't it enough? I don't know if that makes any sense or not, but that's just me hashing out some ideas. So while you're in the process of trying to do your homework and just be motivated, just make sure you're looking into everything about branding. Why? Ask yourself, why are you starting this business? What is your motive for starting this business? Keep all this in mind. Do you have a mission statement? Do you have a vision statement? What is it that is driving you to want to start this business? Here, that's what I'm saying. So, with that work, don't be discouraged with all that. There's a lot of homework into starting your own business. And I'm also finding this out. I have evolved so many times when it comes to my quote-unquote business, on deciding on what it is I want to do. For instance, let me do a backstory a little bit. I actually, when I lived in Florida, I got an LLC because I was in the process of starting an independent record label. I did everything I needed to do. Excuse me, I did everything I needed to do. I got my LLC, my EIN, I had a kind of a sponsor, not a sponsor, but some what are they called? I don't know, someone who threw money at me. Investor. So I had someone who was willing to invest so much money in me to pursue this. because they've always wanted to have a business with themselves, but they never did. They were always interested, but they always got discouraged. Or not necessarily discouraged, but they were discouraged, or they were afraid. You know what I mean? And that's where I have fallen many times. I have found out through trying to start an independent record label, man, that's a lot of work and a lot of money. At least back then. Now it seems to be a little bit more easier to get digital distribution and digital networking and digital marketing. I mean, the game has really changed when it comes to being an independent musician. I mean, it is a lot easier to be an independent musician, and that unfortunately makes it a little bit harder. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it makes it a little bit harder for independent record labels to kind of really offer you, the same exact thing when you, as a musician yourself, can go out and do everything yourself. But anyways, this isn't about that. Back to what I was talking about. I was getting a little off track there. So unfortunately, I'm just going off the top of my head here. I'm just thinking about stuff. I have a few notes here, but unfortunately, I didn't get to really do an outline like I really wanted to. So I just figured, let's hit record and let's just talk about this. So about motivation, what is it that motivates you? How do you find motivation in things? How do you find how do you find time to get motivated? And in turn, do you also motivate anyone else? Like I was saying before, that's what I want to do. I want to be able to motivate people and encourage people to do the exact same thing. And while you're following along with me in this journey of me building the C3M, I truly hope that you're motivated and you could possibly learn from, my mistakes, the ones that I'm going to make, because I know I'm going to make some mistakes. I'm very excited about the C3M. And if you didn't catch my intro episode, the C3M stands for the Classic City Christian Media. Okay. What I'm doing is I love video. I love photography. I love audio. Again, I have an audio background with a project studio and recording, musicians and bands and singer-songwriters and so forth. But I've kind of, a different chapter in my life has come. And that's where I'm going now is I have new interests, I guess. Does that make sense? And with that, I've come up with a few ideas of like what do I want to do here? Do I want to start a production company? I don't know. With that, I've just been hashing out so many ideas on, okay, what is it exactly that I want to do? So I, again, go to YouTube and some other podcasts and motivate myself and educate myself to try to figure out where do I want to go? What avenue do I want to go? And I've come to the realization that, okay, I kind of want to have the C3M as basically the main company. And with it's media can kind of stand for a few different things. I know with media, a lot of people kind of think about, once they hear media, they think of like two things. One, news. You're always going to hear news, or something like that. Everyone's, blame the media. Or it's just like advertising or website, something like that. So, and I was very hesitant on landing and choosing media in the name, but that's what I did. I chose media because I want to encompass both video, photo, and sound recording. And I just want to encompass all in one company because I enjoy it all. I love it all. But, I don't know, as the company grows and as I continue to take more and more steps and learn and, perfect my craft, perfect this podcast, because as of right now, it's very loose. So there's not a lot of, rigidness to it at the moment, because I kind of want to leave it open for growth and figure out which way I want to take it, because I have plans to be able to start interviewing folks that are in the industry as well with photography and videography and live sound applications.